Hi guys, welcome back to the Eastern Romans project. So at this point I was hoping to have my warriors done and mission accomplished. Let's get a look at these guys. So you can see the uniforms, everything basically the same as the archers, and we have some nice gorgeous looking shields, I have to say. Very happy for the most part with how these transfers played out. So how I did the shields was I built these little cross pieces here where I could mount 4 shields to a stick here, so I could kind of work on them at the same time and have something to hold. It's actually a new thing for me. I think every other time I've just glued the shields directly to the models during the building process, but I knew I wanted to airbrush the shields and it would be easier if I just did that separately. So basically apply the transfers. I had to do some red paint around the edges to blend the transfer in to the shield, and then I airbrushed a little gradient on them. So it gave the shields a little depth, and then I think kind of toned down the color, dusting it with like a really light wash of black to kind of bring it in. So I'm very happy with how they turned out. I wasn't sure when I was working on the shields, I was going to look if I could get that same kind of red to match. But once I had them stuck on to the actual model and had them all lined up like that, it looked pretty darn awesome. So I highly recommend working with transfers. Add some nice detail and some real pop to the models without necessarily having to know any advanced paint techniques. So next up after these guys is going to be a unit of 12 levy. So this was kind of a crossroads here for Adepticon, since I have about 8 or 10 points of models assembled. It's kind of to figure out what I'm going to use. So it was between the levy unit and the steppe tribe horse archers. I was going to use one or the other, so I've decided to do the infantry. Obviously you don't have to paint the horses and the guys, so you can just do the guys. And I think javelins work pretty well with Saga 2.0 as well, although obviously I will go back and finish those horse archers at some point. I'm going to get the levy done. I did try a few different techniques for painting. I was thinking of going back to the white for the levy to kind of differentiate them, but the one test model I did kind of had the same issues with white that my original archer model that I did, where it just didn't really work that well with the dip. So I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to be hammering this red on the levy too, and I'll probably extend that to the Hearthguard. So I'm going to have 8 points of Hearthguard after this, so that's just 8 models. So yeah, that's going to be my goal here, is another unit, but thankfully only 12 versus 16, and the bucklers are a little smaller on those guys. And I think I'm pretty much a master of this paint scheme, I feel, after doing 32 of these infantry models previously. So those models are a little different, obviously. They don't quite have the details. Actually, I think they should be painted up even faster, hopefully, than this last bunch. So hopefully we'll be seeing those pretty quickly on the Raj time scale of painting models. Obviously, I go long stretches without getting stuff done, and then I just hammer it home when the motivation's high. So I'm feeling it right now. I've got a deadline. I've got a good color scheme. I'm confident with it, and I'm going to get those bad boys done. So I'm going to see you guys next time. I'm going to get to work on that right now.